So the way we want to structure is that we want to hear a solid, quick introduction of both projects, Numbers Protocol and Sharpshark. And we're going to start with Natalie for a short introduction. Natalie, you're currently in London. What is your background?
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalie from Numbers. I'm currently acting as the lead of outreach in a team. So mainly to talking to different parties and individual creators as well to let them know about what we have been working on, and also to advocating, promoting about the importance of provenance to globally. And that's where we stand. And really look forward to the conversation today and to share more.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about Numbers Protocol? How old is the company, and how did you guys get together as a team?
The team starts in 2019. I think at the beginning is that the founders who works in the previous projects that they have to handle. Well, that at that time they were working on Edge AI, which is a bit too early for the AI booming. But at that moment is that they have processed a lot of media data. So the founder get to have the question is that, so do those people know that their content or their images are actually being processed within the AI data or not? And she's someone who cares about a lot about privacy. So then she was thinking about that, okay, maybe there should be some approach for the data privacy for the content provenance. And that's where the numbers starts, and that's also where we use the blockchain Web3 technology to come up with the solution today.
Oh, okay, interesting. So everything in there.
So like I mentioned, numbers start at 2019, where we see that a lot of issues around misinformation at that time because of US president elections at that moment. A lot of fake images are like on the internet. That's where we believe that also our CTO, who is a believer of open source, that's why Numbers is sort of building a decentralized network where we can ensure provenance for all kinds of creativity that's made by both humans and AI. Well, nowadays, we as humans, I think we are creating a lot of content, assets, even data set every day by how we create, how we move, and everything becomes sort of data. And those are the assets that's owned by us. So we as humans, not only just owning financially, I think we are also owning data as well, owning assets, Web3 assets as well. So then with our solution, we because Numbers is more the blockchain layer where we use and create to trace the media data. So in order to make the chain running and also to allow others or even the creators and business to utilize the blockchain, that's where we come up with Capture. So this is the solution application side where we sort of with you in every step of the process from create, product, and publish. So here's a more thorough scope to see that Numbers blockchain as the foundation of the layer. And also on top of that, there are like different solutions such as Capture Cam, where it's more like the mobile interface, where you can create content, create the assets, and also to register the provenance. And even further down the road is to enable the monetizations, making the selling the license through NFTs. And with the same features at the dashboard, it's more the desktop solution, because we also, after talking to so many creators and business, the desktop solution is very necessary for them, especially for small business.
That they have an overview of the assets that they are actually storing.
Yes. So the assets coming to, so for example, no matter which portal or which interface where the assets coming in, the media assets, it could be photos, videos, music, any kind of digital file you can find on your laptop. When they register to Numbers network, where we will have an identifier being generated, which you can see as the security code of the images. Like for you, and this is the code for this images, which is connected. And then this media file are stored in the decentralized storage with all the metadata that's connected with this identifier and image together. That's where we trace start and then keep going on. So it applies to all the media files coming to our network. And so these are the portals that coming to lead the asset and the contents coming into the network. Yeah, and the SDK is more for more bigger enterprise or developers who knows how to use SDK to integrate, because well, numbers is the layer for provenance, and we believe that the provenance can also happen at a point when different tools, different creation tools are being used by those creators. So that's where we would like to support more business on that. And the other is the capture eye, because in the early days, nobody talked about provenance in the early days. Well, by how AI has been hyping right now, people start to care and people start to discuss about this. And it's important that we are showcasing those provenance data, so it builds trust. And that's where the capture eye, which is the tool, the widgets that we develop that would allow any of the users or small business to integrate this widget on their website directly. So then every image on the site can, if those images are registered to our network, then this eye can showcase the provenance data directly. And even when they click view more, it goes to a more full asset profile page.
Okay.
And here, just some quick view of the cams and the dashboard and the eye. And some few use cases here, because I think for numbers solution are applied currently mainly in the creativity industry and also in the news sectors. So this is a project that's back in 2019-20, like the US president election that I mentioned. So the photojournalists from Reuters, they are using numbers technology to document the provenance data through our technology to the blockchain, where they use the images at the news and showcase those information through this icon as well. And this is another project that's done with Rolling Stone. They had this project investigating a previous war crime scene, and those collected evidence are also sealed on the blockchain. I think there's a previous project that I didn't mention here, is that because the wartime in Ukraine that happens the year before, and there are also evidence that we have been collecting with the other projects, and those are sealed on the blockchain and also submitted to the International Criminal Court as evidence, and also got accepted as well. I think that steps or that achievement really means that the blockchain proof content can be seen as evidence. I think this will really encourage a lot more creators or business to utilize this technology, because in old days is that a photographer who is just a new comer to the industry, if their contents are being used illegally by others, but they don't have the capability, even financially, or they don't have a big law firm who can help them on this. Okay, and this is something that we work on in the AI section, because the AI generative content are flowing on the internet right now. A lot of questions around AI generated content. We definitely see AI generated tools as a good boost for a lot of creators out there, but we would like to see more positive impact or growth on this. So a few of the approach that we have been working on right now is that in our dashboard, where the users, when they are registered their contents, they can verify, indicating what kind of AI generated tools they use. So it would be indicated here. So this is kind of the ASA profile that I shared earlier. And this is the identifier that's being used and the creators and a lot more content information. And the commits more the history of the contents that happens. And if there's any licensing sale through NFTs, there's also another records tab here. And this is one this is one approach that we do with AI generated tools. The other one is that we already work with the partners in London who that they create a pipeline that's integrated with numbers. So in the old day is that you write in different prompts, generated content, but no one else that know about what kind of prompts that you use to generate this content. So then people would have the difficulty to say that should I trust this content or not. So then we have this, the first pipeline that's traceable. So on the first points that you write in the prompt to the endpoints that you generated the content, the whole process is being traced and also indicate. So the final photos or image that you create through this pipeline will be registered to Numbers Network, the same as this profile page. But we also note down that all the prompts that you have been written to generate this one. So then when people come across this image, it's that we can know that who is the creators and what kind of prompts that to be used to generate this one.
Interesting.
And yeah, one project that I would like to share, which is the other project that we have been working on recently, because with Taiwan's unique location, that's next year, January, is our Taiwan president elections. I think this is a very unique, well, because Taiwan's location is pretty unique, as that many activities happens within the country would impact not only just in Taiwan, but also the relationship between with China, with the rest of the world. So this elections are sort of like getting attention globally. So I shared that we work on the project with Reuters for the US president elections, and we want to bring this impact back in Taiwan as this important events. So within this news project is that we are gathering the local independent photojournalists and also the local news media, the fact-checking center in Taiwan. So those are the parties that we have been talking and also getting them involved in the projects that we will be collecting and register those photos that's been taken 30 days before the election and 30 days after the elections during the time, and those will be registered to our network. So the process is that those video content to be collected and those metadata will be registered to a blockchain to us. Also that we would have a verified page where people can verify the image they see during the time. So we can actually note about that is that the voters, at least the voters on the islands, can see what's true photos. And also that the licensing part, because I think during this unique events, a lot of international news media were sending their own people to the island to document the events over there. But then with this solution or with this process, we would like to also open up opportunity for the international news, but also local news, because for international news is that they would be able to see those provenance data that to make sure that they are buying the real photos. So maybe it's probably not necessary to send in too many people to the island, or even they don't need to anymore, because the local journalists can generate those photos for them. I think this is a way they open up a different way of licensing, especially for the news photos, because those provenance data can sort of like support and prove the trueness of the photos. So then it gives the values to both sides. Yeah. So this is a really unique project that's also close to our hearts, because well, as a team that's born out of Taiwan, I think this could really showcase what we can do as a tech company. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it of so far what we have been working on. The last thing I would like to share also that in terms of creativity industry, like a lot of museums, a lot of creators, they own a lot of collections. And one thing that generative AI always comes to them is that their data are not being respected. They are usually being scrapped out of in the early days to be used in the training data. So what we do is that we are talking to different collection owners where we would like to help them to build this traceable AI data set. So then to also open up a chance that if they can have their own AI generated public facing tools for the others to use, but they, at the same time, they will be able to trace how those data is being generated. And this also creates a chance for AI company to be able to license an ethical of AI data sets. I think this really like bring the value to both sides. And I think a lot of regulation within EU is gonna happen soon next year, even next. So I think this kind of brings, we would like to really highlight this when things happen more and more in the AI area. Yeah, I think that's pretty much of my side, and I would love to hear if any questions or from you guys, or like how we can maybe potentially work together.
Well, first of all, my initial feedback, this looks very evolved, like given the complexity of the problem that has to be tackled here, like from your artwork, your brand to, you know, the partners, Reuters, Rolling Stone, like really well-known names. I think that is congratulations for the progress you have so far. I would suggest that for now we give the floor to Sasha, because you know, it will be interesting to see the two approaches side by side. I think there are some similarities, but they are not the same. What is your background? How did you get involved with Sharpshark?
So, in few words, I was a technological writer and editor-in-chief in different technological media, writing about marketing, sales, and other tools for business. And then when blockchain arrived, it was in 2017, the second wave, when the Ethereum was on all-time high. I was offered to start to write for blockchain projects, and because it was very small quantity of people who wanted to write about blockchain, and I was very surprised. We, as a journalist, always want to try new themes, and I was really surprised that so few people want to write about blockchain. So when I was offered, I of course agreed, even that the theme for me looks like difficult. But when I started to investigate it, I discovered that blockchain philosophy is very similar to my own personal philosophy. Responsibility about your own funds, responsibility about your own assets, like nobody own you nothing. If you lose your keys, nobody can help you. So it was very very about my personality also. So I fell in love with blockchain, and maybe that's why my career as a blockchain writer started to improve very fast. And I met so many incredible people who do so many incredible things and development. I was living in Latin America this time, and we did a lot to this called evangelization, like promoting blockchain to telling about blockchain to normal to people. But I don't like this word because it's somehow like we are speaking about new religion, and this is not. This is just about, you know, new technology. So, but anyway, one day the people from Argentinian trade union of journalists came to me and my group, and they said that they heard that somehow blockchain can help to resolve copyright problems, and they shared with us that they have a problem that big media take their creations, like photos, texts, and whatever, publish it and journalists, they don't receive royalty, they don't receive credit, even they don't receive thanks, even they don't receive a link, just nothing. And they can do nothing about this because big media, small journalists, no money for lawyer, and there are not so many lawyers about intellectual property. It's difficult. So I was thinking and I was thinking and I was thinking, and I couldn't find a solution because for me it was seems like unresolved, not resolvable, because blockchain stores only hash. And I was studying journalism, and we had a course about intellectual property. And I know to prove the authorship, you need to have 4 things: the author's name, date of creation, content itself, an immutable form, and the proof of immutability of all this data. So that's why before it was doing in paper, because paper print and the envelope from post was like a timestamp in like the old school blockchain. And then actually the idea came to me when I was sleeping. One day I woke up with like, wow, I understood. We need to store content in IPFS and make a timestamp in blockchain. We need to put hash from IPFS to blockchain and hash from blockchain to IPFS. Cross it, and that's it. And we have all the proofs like we had it in paper in digital format. So in very short time, we created a prototype. We understood that it works. And in few weeks, we already have been in Startup Chile Accelerator, improving our creation, because it was exactly what the market needs in the moment. And we were solving a real problem because journalists came to us. So this is how the Sharpshark began. The funny thing that the startup didn't have a name. So we did a prototype, unit economy, everything, the market calculation, but I realized that my startup has no name. Half an hour before the deadline of closing the Startup Chile accepting the applications. So I invented whatsoever. And from 2018, it's Sharpshark. I know it's difficult to read for some, for Latin people, for example, too many consonants, but it's already Sharpshark and it has its brand. No, can change it. So this is the story. Our superpower is in different thing. So we do Sharpshark. It's like a holistic AI Web3 copyright protection service, and we help media businesses to protect, monetize their textual, visual, and another copyrightable content. We fight piracy, we fight fake news, and we help companies to stop illegal content sharing. Using blockchain, AI, and IPFS, combining these 3 technologies, we can offer easy, low-cost way to comply with modern copyright laws. And also in Sharpshark, we believe that copyright protection is the second most important use case of blockchain after the cryptocurrency. Not so many things in the world really require immutability of data. Intellectual property is one of them. So we all know that digital world is collapsing, media can't monetize well, and part of the problem it's because of extensive plagiarism. Media losing revenue. So you are from Deutsche Welle, you know the problem. Let's not waste time on it. So our approach is 4 steps. We protect, respect, detect, and reject. So when we protect the content, we store content in IPFS timestamped in blockchain, and issue a certificate Web3 standard that contains all the necessary evidence. When we respect means that we will not allow to store in our platform the content that is already on the web. Before uploading it, we make originality check. We check all the internet if the content that our author tries to upload appears somewhere, because the problem of the majority of blockchain copyright protection problems that they allow to upload any content and get certificate to owns name, and this is not true. So the problem that we really try to solve, this is the fundamental internet problem, the legitimacy of initial data. We want to know that the content that enter to IPFS and blockchain is legit. That's why we make this check. Even this cost us a lot of money, actually. It's secret. So if this content is original and pass the originality check, we issue the certificate and content start to be monitored. So our superpower is the monitoring of the content, not just protection and not just originality check, but we constantly monitoring the internet looking for reverse content. If your content appears somewhere without your permission, we will let you know, and you can start the legal tech process, eliminating this plagiarized content using Web3 proofs. And for me, it's very important that Web3 proofs can be accepted in the same manner like the paper proofs. So yeah, basically this is what we do. We combine legal tech, civil tech, blockchain, and AI, trying to create holistic service. And also we want making the process of claiming pleasant and easy, because to claim the content, and we have DMCA policy and all the stuff, but it's unpleasant. It's makes me sick, you know. So we want to make it pleasant. This is our legal tech approach, and we evolve it. This is what we work right now, our legal tech part. This is what changed from last time we met. So yeah, what we want to achieve, IP Oracle, intellectual property Oracle. So every content, every piece of content in the web on the backside have this metadata, whom, where, with what terms of distribution it was created, so people know what they are reading and what they're looking at. So no fake news, no harm news, no lie. Let's see if it's possible. Join us.
I would ask both of you, what is the biggest help you would need? Is it money, or is it networks, or areas to deploy your technology to make it more evolved? What are the next steps here? Maybe we start with Natalie.
I think for us that it's really that we want to see more adoptions of the technology in the industry, and because we have been talking to not only just individuals but also business in really different industry, and what we see is that because of many conditions, no matter it's economically or like all over situations, is that previous 2 years is, well, a lot of businesses are jumping into NFT, jumping into metaverse, AR, VR, and everything. And because of how global economic grow a bit slowed down, and most of business are more hesitate on trying out new things. And I think that's where that we are pushing a lot on the POC, because we want to showcase the possibility. It's not only just about the provenance, but provenance has to be the foundation, because if we move further on how AI growth and everything grow on the internet, is that we will get to a situation that we can only trust something that has been validated already, that has been proved already. For the rest of that, we cannot trust anything. I think we will soon come to this stage we trust nothing, but only the things that has been proved, can be verified very soon. Like you say, if AI generated content gonna be all over the news, all over the social medias. I mean, it has been already in this situations, but looking at next year or the year next, maybe a lot of times that people will misuse images if they didn't notice that. So what we would love to see and what we love to really work on is that to have more different proof of concepts in different areas, like the one that we have been working on right now, that to be happens in your portfolios, in your network, that can showcase the provenance possibility, the content verification possibility, and even the monetizations, because the monetization is, I think that's the opportunity where creators are looking at, right? That matters a lot to them.
So Dasha, what is, from your point of view, what is the next important step in this area?
Yeah, I definitely want the European Union will return back to this discussion about, it was in 2017, 18. It was a very controversial law that caused a lot of discussion about intellectual property and better payment for creators. So the point was that the creators need to get royalty for all things that they do. And the law was not accepted because there was no technological tool to really know whom this content belongs to and how to pay. And there was no easy way to pay to creator. Just, I give you example. Article in Deutsche Welle. I am, I don't know, some Latin American media. I want to republish it. I want to do everything well. So I need to reach out the editor of the content, not even the author, but the editor who will give the permission. It should be right department. I need to find him or her in social networks, make a contact, convince him or her, and get the permission. And there is no easy way. I want this be done in 3 clicks. So if the content can be republished, it should be done in 3 clicks, and the payment should be available in 3 clicks, easy. So if I want to republish Deutsche Welle content, there is a button, republish with, let's say, commercial license for one media. It should be easy. The most easy way to stop piracy is to make people easy to pay for it, like Apple Music did when they did it so easy, like Netflix did. So you make a small subscription and you enjoy all the content you want. It should be the same easy like in Apple Music, Spotify, Netflix, or whatever. So this is what we want to achieve. I want European Union come back to this discussion about how authors and media can be can receive their royalty, because the technology already achieved this level of it's advanced enough to be to comply with this law. So I need you know, money, it's important, but the most important is the will, political will, and desire to help, and desire to make good, and desire to make public good, and appreciation for people who create the content. It's not about money, it's about respect. And because we every year we evolutionate our human rights more and more, I believe that respect for intellectual property is part of our human rights. And I'm really surprised. I'm always surprised that so many people that don't understand this. I'm in Chile now, and in Chile, I had cases where the content of my client was republished without permission by the government side, university website, and without any credit. So when I send a claim and ask for removal, they said, we are not commercial websites, so we publish, and we're university, so we publish. Why not? With all my respect, you can't do it. You need to know the law. When you, so many people think that they can take anything from internet and publish just because it belongs to nobody. No, everything in the internet belongs to somebody. Only if it's not Creative Commons, that the author have the will to spread it for free with the credits. So this content was created by. So yeah, more than money, I want the political interest. But I believe in this time, nobody will be interested in intellectual property because we have, you know, another priorities. We need to stop the conflicts. But also, you know, there are so many content produced during the conflicts that it's important to know from where it's come. So many fake photos, fake news about the armed conflicts. We need to be very careful. We need to give people the true trustful source, what they read, what they see, because it's so many misinformation. Makes me sick.
My question is this. I think that we need a certain level of adoption of these data approaches so that the search engines start providing the option that you can look for verified content that has provenance data. What is your opinion? Maybe we switch. Sasha, you are on the big screen. What is the role of the big search engines like Google and the others in the evolution of this?
You mean I'm on big screen with my coffee? Sorry. Yeah, it's a very good point. We work with Protocol Labs. They invest in us, and we are Techstars residents. So we have all necessary contacts to speak with Google about what you say. What I want to achieve, that the trustful content with the meta marks, like Natalie do or we do, will be ranged more high than the not trustful content. But we need help from, look at us. We are two girls, founders of startup. Will Sergey Brin will talk to us? No. So we need maybe intros and some help from people who are willing to help, and that people from Google can listen. We need to be heard. So this is my personal problem, because if I meet Sergey Brin tomorrow in elevator, I will explain in 30 seconds what we need from them. We just need to reach and be heard.
Okay. Natalie, your opinion on the role of search engines and content provenance?
When Miko, when you mentioned about the search, and then this is really interesting because last year, the year before, because NFT was so hype, and there are a lot of people suffering buying the fake NFTs. So at that point, we already developed a search engine where we allow users to search image data already. So right now, if we are looking at like Google search, image search, where you basically see nothing, but just a lot of images only. So that's where I'm not sure if you can see my screen right now, I believe. So this is kind of a well, it's just a view of where that the search engine look like, because usually is that when you Google search, when you do look at the Google search, it'll only just give you go to this image search. Sorry, I think it's more like this tab, a different tab. So when you throw in images, it gives you a lot of image results. Well, it basically just means a lot of website for you to visit, tons of them, but it gives you nothing of what this is. So in our search engine is that you can either throw in keywords or an image search. So previously is that people can throw in the NFTs, which they see on OpenSea or different marketplace where they intend to buy. So then if there's any, if those are the data that's already covered in our database, they can see the result of it. So when most of the result comes in, they will see an essay profile page like this. So every media file would have this, even if it's just an NFT. So we are indexing, because of the internet's a bit slow in my end, so I cannot show the image, but we have been indexing NFTs in different chains. So then it covers in the database and give you those that provenance data, if there's any. And also that the NFT's result, the commit result, if any, and also the NFT result, if any. So then people can sort of like making the decision, because in the Web3 world, well, I would say no matter in the Web2 or Web3 world, is that we all need to have the awareness and the capability to do research, to make the decision for yourself. It's not about the business tell you what is right or wrong, what is correct, what is the one you should trust. It's more about you finding information, doing the research, and making a decision for yourself. So from a numbers perspective is that we are providing those tools and those information for you to trust. So we really love to see more big corporate like Google or YouTube's, which we already see their movement. They are already doing more of the provenance part, which I think on YouTube as well, they are indicating those provenance data. I think we will see more business that's coming in the way. That's provenance, it has been a long issue. Just there's no one solution can fix them all. So it's more about how everyone else in this field can contribute. Although we are working on a slightly different approach, but I think those information are also sort of helping almost everyone in a society to making the right decision.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, both of you.